welcome, welcome, welcome. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm getting some feedback. Hey, Sizzle, I'm getting some feedback on your end. Hey, say something.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting some feedback on your end, Tasha.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me log out and see what I can do.
All right, cool. All right, and we are off to a rip-roaring start already, looks like, Coop. While Tasha's working on her technical difficulties, we're going to go ahead and wait.
Surprise!
wait. Look what we have here live in studio here in Dallas, Texas. So let's throw on this again. Welcome to the Coming to America edition of the Extra
Coming
Point.
to America.
We got Sizzle in the house, all the way from the DR here in Dallas, Texas. We got Coop DeVille holding it down in DeVille. Now, look, we got a lot of stuff to get into today, but first, we got to get a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian and your new whiskey blend coffee freshly ground by my lovely daughter, Denise. She will grind it up and ship it to you, and you can just enjoy all that effervescence of a fresh Colombian brew. Or if you're a drunkard, you can just get the whiskey blend. She also has t-shirts, mugs, and the syrups to flavor your coffee as well. Again, that is May Jane's Coffee, MAEJANES coffee.com.
Right on. And we are also brought to you by Wolverine Comics, where you can get all of your comic needs done by Mr. Michael Hasso, who will be back in a couple of weeks, holding it down, doing the Family Man stuff. Shouts out to him. So, shouts out to Drew Merriman checking in, Angelo Tate checking in. Now, look, we got a ton to get into today. So, wait, bear with us one moment here. Oh, sorry, Mike. That's Wolverine Comics TX. Don't forget the TX for big text. All right. So, now look, we all know in Nashville, back in the motherland, it's TSU homecoming. We know right here in Dallas, it's the big Texas OU game. But damn all of that. We got to start with what happened yesterday that went viral. Coop, I know you saw the video of Draymond Green knocking out Jordan Poole.
What was that?
I know you saw that. I know. Now, let's get Tasha. We're gonna start with you. What were your thoughts? Because we saw this video together. What were your thoughts on that?
First of all, just to be funny, it was like light skins was just taking an L on that one.
We love you, Mama. Shouts out to the light skin women.
Not only the light skins, the maize and blue took a big L on that because that was a doo-doo green that punched him in the face.
That was.
Now, on the serious tip, you ain't finna walk up on me like that. When anytime you put that shoulder right there into my chest, you already ready to start. So right there, it shouldn't have gone past that. We have our words. If I see you approaching me, I'm not gonna give you a chance to swing first. I'm gonna do this right here like in prison. I'm gonna get you right there in that Adam's apple and that throat area.
Cool. Have you ever been in a scenario where somebody just walked up and stole you like that?
I mean, I don't even see, like she said, I don't understand how you just let somebody invade your space and not be already on guard, especially with Draymond.
Right.
And they had already had the words, you know, so anytime he's walking up on you like that, you need to prepare. Put your dukes up.
Right.
Right. And when somebody leans in and their beard brushes up against your beard, it's go time. Like that, there's nothing else to talk about. And I'm not going to say I'm some Brooklyn brawler or nothing, but if you get that close to me, I'm going to make sure I fire off the first shot because the first shot can have you laying on the ground like Jordan Poole. Now, Coop, as a man, let me ask you this. Did Jordan Poole's reputation take a hit by not retaliating yesterday?
Well, he really didn't have a reputation, and he may have been already intimidated. It's something that's going on behind the scenes that we don't know. It's got to be bigger than just a basketball practice.
Right.
And for him to take it to that level on your teammate, a player that was getting buckets for your team last season, it's something else going on in Golden State.
Now, Tasha, we did see where Draymond had issues with another newcomer a couple of years ago by the name of one Kevin Durant. And while he didn't throw hands on him, he might as well have, because calling him a grown man the B word, you're really just asking him for a fist fight.
Exactly.
Do you think Golden State is going to do anything with Draymond because if I'm Jordan Poole, I might want out of there.
I mean, Jordan Poole is not going to leave because where you gonna go?
Right.
Where you gonna go? That's your best opportunity right there. You know you're gonna make it to the playoffs with Golden State. That's number one. But I mean, Draymond is a problem, and I told you I've always thought Draymond was the weakest link anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they can still get stuff done without old. Don't you believe it?
Stop that, Tasha. Stop that. We live. So how do you think this plays out? You think all is forgiven? Do you think that this could mess up team chemistry going throughout the season, Coop?
I think it definitely will have an impact on it because Poole was a big contributor going down the stretch.
Right.
And when you look at it, they were talking about including him on trades trying to get KD back.
Right.
So what's really going on is Draymond like, man, get this cat up out of here, get KD back. You know, like, I'm good with it. But I believe Jordan Poole was probably taking on a bigger role this year, and Draymond probably feel like he's the fourth wheel, not the third wheel now.
He is definitely the fourth wheel. And Mike checking in from McKinney says, talks that Draymond was going to get dropped so they can increase Poole's pay. He is going to command one of those salaries after his performance in the playoffs. Good stuff by Mike. Now, what Mike left out is what he told us yesterday is that Draymond got mad because Jordan Poole called him a triple single. But we're gonna leave that to
a triple single.
We're gonna leave that to Mike and his sources. But like we said, we got a big day of college football, and it's starting right off the top at 11 o'clock. And yes, Michigan does play today. You see us draped out in amazing blue, but that ain't the game we're talking about. The University of Tennessee is down in Baton Rouge today to take on LSU in a colossal interconference SEC matchup. The 8th-ranked Vols are looking to improve their resume, keep their playoff hopes alive. Against a new look, LSU has won their last 4 games after that heartbreaking loss against Florida State. Cool. Well, how you see this going down? LSU is a 3-point home underdog.
I'm very shocked that it's only 3, but I guess they know that LSU kind of looks back. I mean, Tennessee's coming in with the number 1 ranked offense in the nation, and they've scored on all 22 of their red zone trips. But the front 4 for LSU is a big factor today. If they can get pressure and get to Hooker, that will be the determining factor. But I don't think they can score enough points as Florida could keep up. I don't think Jaden's Anthony Richardson. He's not on that level yet. He was supposed to be on that level 2 years ago, and he's just not progressing. And he got hurt last week also. So I don't know if his wheels will be good enough to get outside the pocket and make plays, because that's the Achilles heel of Tennessee, getting outside the pocket and extending plays, because their defensive backs are not any good and they don't get a lot of pressure up front. But LSU biggest thing is the front 4 pressure tonight. And also UT's coming off a bye week. So Tillman's still out. It's going to be a big game in that factor. Tennessee's reputation is on the line today, starting with today.
Yes.
The next 4 to 5 weeks are big, but if you don't win this game, the Alabama, Georgia games, Kentucky games, they won't even matter.
Right. And you'd hate to undo such a great start by the University of Tennessee. Tasha, how do you see this? Do you like Tennessee and the 3 points?
I agree with Coop. I think they should be favored more, but Death Valley is a different beast. I don't know what the temperature is down there, but it's an 11 o'clock kickoff. Now, Death Valley is named Death Valley for a reason. Right. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's muggy, and we don't know if those Vols gonna go out like the Bills did when they were down there at Hard Rock when it was 137 degrees.
137.
But the Vols just look so good now. They look so good.
They do.
And going back to what Cooper saying about LSU and their struggles, they struggled against Mississippi State, which is now ranked, by the way, clanger. But they struggled against the likes of Mississippi State. Their offense is just not offensing, if you can put it that way.
Right. So
I am inclined to think the Vols are going to go ahead and pull it out. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, because when you get up for when it's like a rivalry, which is really not a rivalry, to be honest, because Tennessee and LSU really don't play each other that often. Right. But it is an SEC game on the line. You're at home. The Vols are coming in with them hard gray unis with the
smoke gray today. Yeah,
man, them gray unis go hard. But I still have Tennessee.
The game time temp is 69, so they're gonna be in great shape.
So and Coop in his bag today. And Coop in his bag today. He's giving us game day temperatures.
Hey, and also Tennessee got saved because they didn't make this the night game, and they kept the Alabama Texas A&M because I would have won for LSU if they would have played at 7:00.
Tasha, well, you're not just saying that before, on the pre-roll before the show. She was just saying that it should have been a night game, and damn, some Alabama and Texas A&M. I agree. So, Coop, are you taking Tennessee in the 3 today?
Oh yes, definitely. But
okay,
this is the game that Tennessee will let you down.
Yes.
Don't say that.
This is the game.
Don't say that.
I mean, they're due for a bad game. Now I'm looking back. Now you look at it. The Pittsburgh win really not that big. Pitt lost to Georgia Tech last week.
Right.
So the outcome of the game is still based on Hooker and the explosive plays that they can make. Can LSU defense stand up to playing 90 defensive snaps or more? That's what everybody faces against Tennessee. Your defense is going to play 90 snaps, and LSU can't afford to go 3 and out 2 or 3 times, or it will be a blowout.
It will be, right. Yeah. And for UT, this is their first true, what I call real road game in an SEC environment. Death Valley is going to be rocking. They've been drinking since early. Tasha has people on the LSU side, and they were up at 6 o'clock in the morning already getting parking. So you know that they're going to be fired up for this one. Now, let's juxtapose this to another game that used to be a big game. It's kind of a big game, but I want to get y'all's thoughts on this. It's Texas OU weekend here in Dallas. So that hence you see Tasha T. Sizzle here. We're going to go see Big Tex and the State Fair. Now, my question to you is, what happened to Texas and the OU? Like, if they're going to the SEC, cool. If they were SEC eligible now, where would they rank? What tier? We know they're not going to be Alabama, Georgia. Are they going to be on the Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida level, or down there with Vanderbilt? And
I guess they would be in between Vandy and Tennessee, or Missouri and Tennessee, because their play it just doesn't look up to par at all. They've always struggled, both teams, with getting defensive players, and coming into the SEC, that is going to be very much exposed. Like, when I'm looking at this game now, like, they went out and got Venables, and Venables teams look disarray. Nobody is gelling on any level. Defensive backs giving a big play after big play last week to TCU. I just don't know what their staple is. And the quarterback that left, what's the quarterback that went to USC? I think they were banking on him. They were banking on him a lot. And it's just going to be – it's kind of sad seeing both teams unranked, and Kansas and Kansas State are the head of the conference.
College game day is at Kansas today.
Like, how does that happen? Now Texas may be able to do something with Ears. What's it, Ears? Ears? How you say his name? The quarterback. He's supposed to come back today.
Oh.
And Bijan Robinson is always good for 150 and 2 touchdowns. T. Sizzle, if you look at this matchup on paper, they look very similar. UT averages 37 points a game. So does Oklahoma. They both give up right around 23, 24 points a game. They both average under 500 yards a game on offense. Who do you see the edge going to? Because Texas is actually an 8.5-point favorite today.
Wow. Of course, even though I know I take flack from my family because my cousin balled at OU, I'm always hook 'em. I just think Texas plays better ball. And the way they played against Bama showed me that they actually can play some ball. Mm-hmm. So I'm inclined to go with Texas on this one.
And the touchdown.
Yes.
What about you, Coop?
Oh, I got – this is the game where it never goes as expected. Like, every time you think one team is better than the other team, the losing team always comes up and routs them. But it looks like Texas is the better team. But they have to Oklahoma has to put up, a big fight today, because they gave nothing last week. Mm-hmm. They pretty much checked out of that game. And, like, this is the first time since 1998 neither team has been ranked in this rivalry.
That is insane. And like Tasha said, but you have a game day at TCU and Kansas, and the other ranked games in the Big 12 are all like ahead of these two teams. It's going to be a weird transition if these two teams can't get it back on
So
track.
is Kansas going to jump to the SEC?
Exactly.
I bet the basketball program will like that.
Chuck J.
Oh yeah.
Mike says
I
Texas
mean
gets
that
their QB back.
it's really looking like disrespect to see Kansas and Kansas State above both of these proud programs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean they're getting all the recruits. You know, no one's going to Stillwater. Like
Right.
So Oklahoma State is better than both these teams right now.
And
Like,
so is
literally.
Baylor and all of that.
Hey, but
Yeah.
we didn't have one great to come out of Stillwater. One Mr. Barry Sanders.
No, there will be no disrespect on Thurman Thomas either, by the way, or Mr. Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Dez Bryant. Hey, good job by you.
That wasn't even playing.
Right, that was not playing. So, Coop, are you taking Texas in the 8.5 today?
I'm not taking the 8.5. I think Oklahoma will cover, but Texas will win by at least 4 or 5. It'll be a backdoor cover. I think Oklahoma will have a backdoor cover.
Now, right, and Gerard just answered the question I was about to ask, is the SEC doesn't care what their records are. They're going to bring big money to the conference either way, and their fans do travel. Tasha, what kind of crowd do you anticipate at the fair today? We're both teams struggling.
Oh, it's, people, Paul, this is going on year. Okay, we took a 2-year hiatus.
Thanks, COVID.
This is going on what, year 5? I always see more people walking around outside, but when you look at the game on television, the stadium is always packed.
That's true,
regardless of their records.
We'll have a follow-up on that next week as far as what the attendance and what the atmosphere was like with two teams that are going opposite of the college football playoff for. Now, one last thing that I want to throw in about college football. Speaking of the college football playoff, the 4 teams that started the AP poll, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, they are still the top 4. However, the voters keep flip-flopping Alabama and Georgia. So my question to you is, Coop, who's really number 1? By the eye test, Alabama or Georgia, in your opinion?
I still think Georgia is the number 1 team in the nation. I think they're sleepwalking right now, and it's expected. You got 18, 19-year-olds, and you're expecting them to get up for Missouri. It's not going to happen. Like, it's just the way football is. And I still take Georgia has more stability. They have a better defense. So it doesn't matter to me whether you flip them 1 and 2. It's all going to come down to Georgia playing Tennessee and who wins their game. Like, I don't care.
I like
it doesn't
Tennessee
matter.
right now. I like Tennessee to score enough points to beat Georgia, by the way. Tasha, by the eye test, who's the number 1 team in the country? Or is it either one of those two or is it someone else?
Right now, both of them are looking very, very, very beatable. Very beatable. Because one wrong step against, because Missouri could have actually won that game. And they
should have won that game.
They would have upset Georgia. And we all know how the Alabama-Texas game went. Texas could have won that game.
They should have won. That was intentional grounding. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. And is Alabama's quarterback back in?
It don't matter because the backup is just as potent.
Yeah.
Always bet on black.
If
you don't know, Google.
We get one of these every week, right? She gonna bet on black once a week.
Google Bama's backup QB. I was shocked and appalled.
Now Mike says it's Georgia, so we got 2 Georgias. Are you going with Bama because of their QB situation, Tasha?
Yeah.
I like them as well, but don't sleep on the University of Michigan either. But if we want to talk about
sleep on them.
Team. What was that, Coop?
Yeah,
sleep on them.
Yeah, sleep on them. I had to get around.
Come on, Coop.
Come through this camera on you.
We got a stable quarterback. We got a top 5 running back. We got a top 10 defense and a top 5 kicker. Then you're gonna have Mike come through the camera on us.
That's who I was waiting on.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Coop. Wait a minute. Let's get this up for you.
I miss you, Mike. I'm waiting on you.
Right, hurry up and get back, Mike, so we can keep this on the face-to-face level. Hey, Mike don't play about the Wolverines, so let's move on in a hurry. Let's go to the NFL, and give me just a second to kind of set this up for you two, because I'm about to put you two on the hot seat. Now, I was listening to the Mike Vrabel post-game press conference last Sunday after we put them hands on Indianapolis. And he basically nonchalantly looked at their 2-2 record as, hey, half the league is 2-2. And when I first heard him say that, I thought it was hyperbole. I thought he was like, that was just on coach speak. But then when I go look at the records, no, that's pretty accurate. 15 teams are 2-2 after 4 weeks. I don't know how the hell that happens in the NFL, but I do also know that no 2-2 teams are alike. You know what I'm saying? All 2-2s aren't the same. So I'm gonna give you some teams each, and you tell me if you're buying or selling their 2-2 as a playoff start, or just they just happen to be 2-2. All right, we're gonna start with you, Coop. The New York Jets are 2-2. You buying or selling the Jets?
Stop that. You know.
Why you get him the easy one?
Right here.
Why you get the easy one?
The next one might be easy for you, Tasha.
I'm never fooling with the Jets. They bums. When I watched them play I watched them play Pittsburgh last week, and Pittsburgh it was terrible. It was terrible.
I mean, they got Joe Flacco as their backup quarterback, and he has been starting. I didn't even know Joe Flacco was still in the league.
Exactly.
Y'all wait for playoff Joe. All right, now, Tasha, you up? Cleveland 2-2. You buying or selling Cleveland?
I'm going to buy Cleveland.
Yeah. Nick Chubb has been getting it done on the ground, and they get Myles Garrett back this week. So
and
maybe
great fantasy points. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, that fantasy football will change your life. All right, you up next. Now I'm going in order, Tasha. You get to finally see the script. Jacksonville, you buying or selling their 2-2 start, Coop?
I'm buying. They look capable. They getting good quarterback play, and he has them playing. They're no pushover.
I'm buying that too. Good Lord. The next one landed on Tasha. That's Tennessee. It's 2-2, Tasha. Be nice. You got to get to the airport. You buying or selling Tennessee at 2-2?
Can I trade it, Barter?
Bro, you want to trade with Cool?
Can I trade it, Barter?
Well, let's do it this way.
No.
We're going to do it this way because you picked Indianapolis at the start of the season and they're next.
Okay.
So we're going to flip-flop them. You get Indy, 2-2. 2-1, actually. You buying or selling 2-1.
And the thing is, the answers correlate with each other. I'm actually thinking I'm going to sell Indy because they beat Denver, but Denver is terrible.
Denver needs their butts whooped for not letting Tennessee off the hook. There's no way Indy should have won that game on Thursday.
So, yeah, I hate to say it. I picked them, but I'm going to have to sell on them at this point. Matty Ice ain't Matty Icing, and where's Jonathan Taylor?
Right.
You heard I said Taylor.
Tennessee broke that ass up. All right, Coop, you get the Titans then. You get the Titans 2-2. You buying or selling?
I'm buying them, man, because when you look at the overall setup of the league, everybody thought the AFC West was head and shoulders above everybody else, and they're not. Like the AFC South may be way better than most people. Mm-hmm. Like Indy may be the worst team in the AFC South.
Right.
Yeah, the Texans and Jacksonville. I guess it'll be the Titans and Jacksonville vying for the title.
Like the good old days. Hey, that's what like the late 90s with Steve McNair and Mark Brunell and company.
Duval!
You really did not yell that in this house.
Yeah.
Thriller music gonna start playing in a minute. We're gonna get Vince out of here. All right, you up, T Sizzle? The Chicago Bears. The Bears.
Selling.
Okay. All right. You up next, Coop. The Marcus Mariota led Atlanta Falcons are 2-2.
I'm selling them. I ain't paying no attention to them.
Damn, y'all.
They got lucky last week.
They keep them. Hey, they like Twitter right now. They keeping my word count down. All right. Hey. Okay, you up next. We got the Kyler Murrays, the fighting Kyler Murrays at Arizona, 2-2. You buying or selling?
And I'm selling them. Selling.
Okay, and last but not least, Coop, you have Seattle at 2-2 in the NFC West. What you thinking? Buy or sell?
Oh, I'm selling them. I'm selling. Eugene gonna be Eugene.
Okay, so now let's get to some big boy ball because the game that really matters. It's only 2 games that really matter this weekend in the NFL, in my opinion. And the first is them boys out there in SoFi Stadium, out there in La La, to take on the defending champion Los Angeles Rams, who, in my opinion, don't look anything like a defending champion. But I'm going to leave that to you two. All right, cool. Who you taking? if you had the choice as GM, they're both on the board. Micah Parsons or Aaron Donald?
Whoa. I'm still going with Aaron Donald. I like what Parsons is doing. He's playing his way up to primetime defensive player. Like, he gets it done every week. And he does it in many different facets. That's what I like about it. He can cover the tight end in the slot. He can get upfield, and his speed rush is like the freak used to be. He reminds me of the freak coming off the edge.
Oh, that was one of my favorite players. Tasha, who would you taking? You taking Donald? You taking 11 from heaven?
It's hard because both of them have been compared to Lawrence Taylor. Mm-hmm. And we all know where Lawrence Taylor, best defensive player I've ever seen in my life.
In my life, too. And Deion is a close second, but Lawrence Taylor is number one. Deion's a close second.
Anywho, man, it's hard because, you know, it's like Micah had like kind of like things tied to him when he was at Penn State, which we have not seen any of that foolishness.
Right.
He is concentrating. He's out here. He's balling. He is making a name for himself. Where you have Aaron Donald is, I always say when they get that contract, sometimes the play declines a little. His play hasn't declined a little. It's just the fact that the team is terrible. Yeah. So I'm going to have to go opposite of Coop, and I'm going to have to pick Micah Parsons.
Say it with your chest, T. Sizzle. Say it with your chest.
Do either one of y'all think Lawrence Taylor could cover the wide receiver and backs the way the game is played today? Do you think he could cover the tight end, the Kittle, the Kelce's? Do you think he could cover?
How much coke did he do before
Right, that's what I'm saying, because you know he always coke. Hey, cocaine a hell of a drug. He was
how much coke did he do? Like, because back then, you know, they weren't testing like that. Now,
I'm just saying, you know, he was a sideline type of linebacker. And, you know, you have to be a different type of linebacker in this day and time.
But, I mean, I think if he was put in this game, he would still dominate because his game would have evolved into what it needed to be. Mm-hmm. Like, we would have been saying LT is the Micah Parsons.
Okay. Right. I totally agree with you there. Now, Coop, what the hell is wrong with the Rams offense? They are ranked 28th in yards and 29th in scoring. What happened to them?
Stafford is hurt for real. And they're trying to disguise it and let the weeks go. Because he only throws the ball to Cup. Like, he throws the ball
19 targets last week, Coop. 19 targets in a professional football game. This ain't mad.
He's not even looking for anybody else. Like, it's the players for you, the players for you. This player's for you. But how does he keep getting open and everybody knows every pass is going to him? Dude, he's nice.
He is. He's nice, but it's not equating to dominance. Tasha, I'm going to just kind of slide off camera and let you scoot up to the middle and get your Stafford off.
Now, what did Ray say to Claude when they was in life? You was right when you said what you said. I told y'all when he first went to the Rams, Stafford ain't beep. I told y'all that. And now he's injured. I said the Rams were never. Rams gonna win the NFC West. Okay. And what you?
I think they still gonna win the West, but
no,
they don't look like the team.
No,
I like San Fran to win the West with Jimmy G. And this ain't gonna be a Jimmy G segment. I'm not trying to slip him in there, but Coop, he looked scared on Monday night against San Francisco.
He was terrified.
He looked scared. He was
you're right.
And Cooper, what you were saying about him, you know, like this play for you, this play for you, this play for you. Even though that play for him, it still ain't coming up in the scoreboard. Like they still ain't winning.
You can defend that in the red zone, and he can't take the top of a defense and just go 80 like a Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
he just padding his numbers, but
that's all it is.
Now let's get to the nitty and the gritty. The Rams are a 5.5-point home favorite. You taking the Rams at home against the Cowboys' tough defense?
No, I'm gonna take Dallas with the cover, but I think the Rams will get this game.
Maybe by a late field goal or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's very plausible. Tasha, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams too because I just don't trust that offense. They've been getting lucky. What's his name?
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush has been playing.
You talking about Cooper Mayweather, Mr. Undefeated? Cooper Mayweather?
Look at you.
Or is his name Rush Hour? Rush Hour 4?
He has
Rush
been
Hour
effective
4.
doing what he's supposed to be, is a backup. He's doing backup.
That's it.
And it is effective. But I think when you see the likes of an Aaron Donald coming at you,
right,
that makes the difference.
I'm nervous about this one if I'm a Cowboys fan for Cooper Rush because he hadn't seen the likes of an Aaron Donald. And then you have Bobby Wagner playing over his head right now for how old he is. And Jalen Ramsey can lock down a CeeDee Lamb when his head is in the game. Jalen, we need you to keep your head in the game. Is that who's just calling?
Hey, they were embarrassed too the other night. So I look for them to bounce back. They were embarrassed.
Mike said to my face, Rams ain't winning this game.
Mike said, Rams winning this game.
Say it to my face, Mike. We ain't trying to hear that. All right. I am nervous for Cooper Rush in this one because CeeDee Lamb is banged up. He's questionable with a hamstring injury.
Oh, Mel, you see, I'm in the States, Mel.
Now, let's go to Sunday night football. We have the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Two fun teams to watch. Now, Baltimore is 18-2 in their last 20 home games in primetime under Harbaugh. But last year, Cincinnati put them hands on them not once, but they caught a two-piece from Cincy last year. And Jamar Chase was the difference in both games. Remember the fantasy playoffs where he eliminated half of the people himself with almost 300 yards receiving? Baltimore has the league's worst passing defense, y'all. Somebody, please don't let me play against Jamar Chase this week. So, with that being the case, I know last week y'all took Allen over Lamar. I know y'all were split on that. So we'll flip this around. Next 5 years, quarterback of your team, you taking Lamar Jackson, Coop, or you taking Joey Burrow?
I'm taking Jackson over Burrow. I think it's a product of
So there's levels to this, you're saying?
Yeah. I'm still thinking that Lamar over the next 5, and especially if the Bengals don't get him, if they don't get him an offensive line, he won't last another 5 years.
That is very true. That's very true.
Hey, why does every week Baltimore give up 15, 20-point leads and lose?
That defense, when you got the worst defense, teams are never out of it. And Harbaugh needs to take some culpability as well. You need to stop playing like quit rolling the dice like you in Vegas and just take the points when they're there.
That was hard.
He says these Super Bowl teams from last year, they really are. They really are. Which means the Titans are going all the way. Where's my crown? You gonna put the crown?
No, ain't
no
crown.
They going all the way.
No crown this week. Okay, so Tasha, who are you taking? You taking Burrow? You taking Jackson over the next 5 years?
Jackson.
All right, we're gonna roll with that. Now, Tasha, let me give you a follow-up question. And Coop, I want to get your thoughts on this too. Do you think Jackson can carry a league worst defense all the way to a championship?
Ooh, not to a championship. They're gonna have to. They need some pieces for that boy to win a championship. Again, we always say defense wins games. That's the old narrative. Even though offense has been showing that it's been kind of winning the championships, not with the Rams, of course, but offense has been doing it. But like Coop said, they're giving up 15, 20-point leads at the end of the game.
You cannot do that.
You cannot do that and win a championship. You can't do it.
You cannot do that. Cool. What are your thoughts on that? You think Jackson can MVP his way to another Super Bowl with a porous defense?
I don't think with this team that is constructed because he's having to do everything. He's leading them in rushing, leading them in passing. Like it's nothing else for him to do. Like he's capping out on game 5. He's gonna max out
and play both ways.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's all second half comebacks. Like they like the Titans. They giving up points. The Titans can't score points.
Sure. You know what? That like we could do a whole show on my just disdain at the offensive production of Tennessee in the second half. They scored 7 second half points, and we're in October.
Yeah,
how the hell are they 2-2?
Mediocre league.
It takes the Raiders and the Colts to get us there with that type of performance. Now, somebody who's still in the championship form is you and Mike, and I know Mike is hanging around for this Survivor segment because he gave me his Survivor pick. As you see, look, me and Tasha sitting over here waiting to get back in the game, and y'all keep picking right. So we have to keep sitting out.
Like in wrestling, when you want to be tagging, you
right? We got our hand out the tag, and y'all won't tag us in. Somebody better win this week, damn it! And here we go. Mike is taking Buffalo over Pittsburgh. Who you taking?
Whoa, Buffalo over Pittsburgh. I got Green Bay over the Giants.
Oh, so you're going over the water over the pond with it this week, huh? See, he's going to try to sneak his win in before we wake up tomorrow. That's what that is. He's going to get it out the way early. Hey, did they have you nervous last week against New England?
Oh, man, I'm like, how are they going to do this? That was horrible. Hey, New England had me quarterbacking. I'm like, how do you lose to me?
Okay, look, all right, Mike. So here we go. We got it. The final showdown. Somebody is going to win the survival pool this week. We got Mike and the Buffalo Bills taking on Coop DeVille and the Green Bay Packers. That might be Super Bowl for real. Now that we look at it, they both 3-1. All right. So somebody, Lord, please let one of these two win. So me and Tasha can get back in. Y'all freezing us out. All right. Now let's move on to T Sizzles top 5. Now, you know, we try to get a theme every week, and since this is rivalry weekend here in Texas with Texas OU. We want to see if Texas and OU makes her top 5 rivalries in sports. Take it away, T Sizzle.
I mean, I did. What I tried to do this week was each sport get one. So, of course, a lot of people are going to be left out. Like Duke and Carolina. We know that's a great rivalry. Texas and OU is a great rivalry. So, I'm going to start off with hockey. I know a lot of you guys don't watch hockey, but I happen to watch hockey. And
y'all going to respect her for that.
And I've always watched hockey long before, the Preds got there.
Are you a Preds fan, by the way?
No, I'm a Red Wing fan.
She said no. Oh, she's definitely not a Preds fan if you're a Red Wing fan. Yeah.
Right. That's like a damn rival. Go ahead.
And Sid is my favorite player. Hi, Sid the Kid. I love you. Anyway, the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens, that is an old rival because that's when, the original 6 teams. They go back to like 1921. So that's hockey. Baseball, of course, you got to have the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Okay, yeah, that goes back to Babe Ruth.
In the NBA, it's always the Lakers and the Celtics, even though you have some new teams coming up, creating rivalries and back and forth. So what's that? We're at number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And number 5, I'm going to go on the college level, of course. You see it here on the shut.
You see it right here.
You see it here on the shut.
Give me in the camera. Where we at?
You see it here?
Sorry. We're sorry about that. All right.
It's the Marines and those FIs.
Mike is somewhere smiling and looking at his phone. Cool. What do you think? You got another one there that cracks your list?
I think the Alabama-Auburn football game has got to be right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the NFL. I had Green Bay and the Bears. That's all. Even back in the day, when we were growing up, that was a big thing.
That was Green Bay and the Bears. Yeah. I want to go to flip over the box, and I'm going to go with Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. Not Larry Holmes. I'm sorry, Frazier. That was a great rivalry.
Right.
Coop, you got any? You got any more? I'm cool with the list.
Yeah, I think that, but I just wanted to get in that Alabama and Auburn like that.
Yes.
Coop
that is one like that. Every year it's going to be a war.
And that one is throughout the records as well, because the times when Auburn beats Alabama, they like unranked
all the time. Yeah. Remember what was it? The prayer and Jordan Hare,
right? And the kick six,
man.
The kick six.
All right, they show up.
Now, look, we're going to make this an abbreviated episode because we know Cooper's got the streets to get into today. It's TSU's homecoming. He's called TCU TSU. He's called Texas TSU.
You got your yak ready.
And we're so happy that he was able to join us because he has a big day ahead of him. If you live in Nashville, you know how big TSU homecoming is.
I went too hard yesterday for an old man. Day parties. I went to the most ratchet.
Tell him where you were last night.
Day party.
Right. Where were you?
Where you were.
Oh, I went to the Delta Day party, the pep rally, and then I went to the most ratchet ghetto concert of my life.
Did you feel out of place?
Did you get right?
I was very out of place. I was at a concert where nobody had a job. No, I don't think anybody in there worked. I ain't talking about a career. I don't think they had a job. I'm like,
right, not even a job.
not like they don't work at Crystals, you know, nowhere. Like
BOOSIDADAZZ, that's me.
Hey man, I'm looking at my sister like, boy, I love you, sis. Hey, because I'm way out of my element.
That was a big brother moment right
cool.
there.
I have to admit, my daughter was there last night. She was right up on the stage because she sent me videos of Boosie because she know I love Boosie.
But wait a minute, now
Boosie went in. I was right there, probably 2 rows back of the stage. I was on the floor like I was 20. Fooling with my sister.
Look, I saw you was clean, Coop, with the braids pulled back and your sister there with I see the Donaldsons representing.
You know how we do it, baby.
That explains why you ain't at the parade this morning.
Right.
Oh man. My wife talking about, are you gonna make it? Make it where? Man. Hey.
Now Mike is checking back in. Coop, I'll let you answer your own questions since y'all are going against each other. He wants to know who your pick was again.
Oh, Green Bay.
The Packers of Green Bay versus the Buffalo Bills this week. Survivor pick, Lord Jesus, let somebody win. We're sick of sitting out. Me and Tasha are ready to get back in this with some fresh picks. And it's time for some shout-outs. Cool. Who you shouting out this week?
Man, I'm shouting out Big Blue homecoming. Everybody be safe. Enjoy. Much love.
All right, Tasha, who you shouting out? Hey, mama.
I was so excited to be here. I didn't have no shout out. So I'm going to say, you know what? Shout out to my lovely host, one Mr. P.L. Coulter, and my lovely hostess who will return because her daughter this is the thing. They are from Knoxville. She has photos of her daughter in University of Tennessee garb, but her daughter is a cheerleader at LSU.
So that's a house divided, I guess. And
so shouts out to my lovely friend, one Miss Ingrid Patrice, who will host me as well.
I want to say shout out to my mom, AP Coulter, who just checked in. She is a UT alum. Her school is making her proud, and she's been watching football. And y'all have not lived until you did a live text for a whole game with my mama watching a UT game. Her knowledge is cool. So I want to send a shout out to AP Coach. I want to send a shout out to Nashville and TSU. And I also want to send a shout out to my godson, Miles, who started varsity yesterday. Go, Miles. Go, varsity. So that's how we're going. Look, we know that everybody watching in Texas and Tennessee got 1,000 things to do today, so we will let you get to it. We got 1,000 things to go get to. We're about to go to the Texas OU State Fair in Michigan garb because we just troll like that. So you know how we get down. In 6 days and 23 hours, we'll be right back here talking football and foolishness and more. Until then, peace.
Much love, much love.
Coop, stay on.
Right, and hydrate.
Woo!